Hello. How's it going?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Chat,
that's
can you hear?
perfect actually. So I'm glad to be back again. Just recovering from everything pretty much.
Yeah. I'm still dealing with
Ahoy,
stuff.
everybody.
What's up,
Yes, you can
Sunny?
curse.
Long time no see.
Okay, I'm gonna check to see if my microphone's not that loud
I
on
can
the
hear.
stream.
Well, I can hear you fine. And then just hope she can hear us.
Okay, I'm good.
I just want to make sure you're fine because I can hear. I don't know if you can hear us because I thought.
No, because like sometimes I'll listen back to the recordings on Treehouse Sessions and I hear myself and I'm so loud that I'm like I need to lower down my microphone that way it's at a perfect volume, but I'm not
Mhm.
too loud.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that the audience can also tell us if we're loud or not.
Yeah.
So
Can you hear us,
yeah.
audience?
Yeah, audience.
Wondering if we're too soft, too loud. We're okay. We're fine.
Just fine?
Yeah, they said they could hear us all fine. So
They can hear us.
yeah,
I think the benefit of the audio settings this time is I actually have been streaming regularly, so OBS has been used.
I've been seeing it. You're on YouTube. I mean, I saw your YouTubes.
Yeah, lots of Forza, lots of cars.
I played Forza too. We should probably, meet up in game.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Right now it's just me and Luna and sometimes Pars. It's very lonely.
I mean, for me, like,
I would.
my deal has mostly been like my internet connection. That's the reason why like I haven't been streaming it when I'm playing Forza. But maybe I could just like pal with you. But then I also noticed that you also play early too, so it's like, oh, I'm still sleeping while you guys are still playing.
Yeah, we get on right at
Uh,
the season
somebody
change.
says somebody says in the chat you need to turn this up a little bit more, just a little bit,
There's a slight bit.
Yeah, I did.
Xenovoid.
slight bit. Okay.
I. There you go. You're -10 instead of -13.
Oh, Seren, I listened to your the Bros in the Band podcast the other day while I was drawing. Very good job, man, as always.
As
Appreciate it.
always, yes.
I was gonna
Yes.
get another one out, but then I had a paper to do, and I couldn't get the other one out in time.
Are you doing one for Rook, Line, and Sinker? Because I'm sure you have a
Yes,
lot to say on that one.
that was the next one. I was so
I would
disappointed.
to the Carl fan out here. I mean, he'll probably have a lot to say.
Oh yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't have a lot to say on that one. I love that one. I hope we're talking about it
Waiting
tonight
for that.
because
we
I
are.
love
Yeah,
that one.
we're doing that
Yeah.
next week on our Loud Casa Talks next Thursday. So
Sweet.
stay tuned for that.
I just did it recently on my podcast with my good pal Jar, who's probably in the chat here. But yeah, go
Yeah,
listen to Constant Chats. That's my
yeah. Sorry.
promotion right
I'll,
now.
just a heads up. I'm sorry if I've not been on Discord for so long. Work has been very busy. And yeah.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy lately, but I'm glad to be back here with y'all.
Man, I'm just in a mood of I feel so surreal. It's been so long.
How long? But it's the last time we actually did this again, like November or something.
Halloween, Halloween
Yeah.
weekend.
Okay.
Oh
So
my
like
gosh.
end of October, November.
Wow.
Been crazy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we've got 10 things. It's we're gonna try and go fast. I know we probably don't have a lot to say for some of these, but I wanted to make sure we covered all our bases. So 2 years down the road, someone doesn't come on and say you didn't cover this.
Wait, Nat, are you there?
Yeah, she's here. She's online, but can she hear us? We can't hear her. Hmm.
She's in the Discord chat.
Um. Yeah, you gotta wait for her. But we can't hear you.
Yeah,
We can't hear you.
Like, is your mic off?
No, her mic's not off. But her Discord must be. You might have to reconnect again.
Maybe I have to reset it. Hmm. All right, there. We'll see if she can reconnect.
Hello, Nat.
Hello.
Yeah, we can
Hello,
hear you
there
there
you
you
now.
go.
are.
Hear you now.
Hey.
We had a chance.
Did we lose her
Dang
again?
it. No.
Are you there, Nat?
The
Something's going on with
AirPods.
Something's
might
going on with
die.
her Discord. Yeah.
With AirPods?
Said she's using her AirPods, so I don't know if she's using her phone or. Yeah, you got cut off again.
Yep, you got cut off again.
That might work out better if you use your headphones. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be back in a minute, folks.
I've been
We
noticing.
love technical difficulties here.
So I've been noticing we have been airing a lot of Casagrandes episodes, but no new Loud House
Oh
episodes.
my
And
gosh.
I'm like, that's awesome, but I need some louds too. So
They'll be coming back at the end of February. We finally have an air date for the season 5 finale. Thank goodness.
I know. I mean, I've been trying to like hold my feelings for Frame on You, but we have to wait until those 2 episodes appear so we can actually do another Loud Casa Talks.
I forgot that it aired in January. I did my episode with Jaw recently, and like on the recording, I had a brain fart. Like, wait, those episodes aired in January. I totally forgot they aired before the football thing. And Jaw was laughing, like, "How did you forget?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Appetite for Destruction and Frame on You did air before the Niners Cowboys game. I would remember that because the huge Niner fan here who couldn't wait to the Super Bowl. Okay, I'm angry still about last weekend.
Oh, so sorry.
I know. Now I gotta go for some Bengals now.
Oh well.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Oh, way better now. Yeah, way better.
Okay.
Now.
I guess it was something with my AirPods. I don't know.
Maybe. It was just like fizzing out because we could hear it for a second, and then maybe it died or something.
Because I could hear you guys. So I don't know.
Yeah, AirPods are weird on Discord. I tried using them once, and the microphone didn't work for me.
Okay, so we're all here now.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so as I said, 10 things. We're gonna kind of go down the list real fast.
Yes.
As I said on Twitter, if you want to tweet about us, hashtag THS005. And yeah, let's do it. First up, Lalo Land.
Oh, is that one episode that got leaked?
Yeah.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot about this episode, and then the next Lalo episode that just came out reminded me of it. So thank you for remembering this, because I forgot about it.
I love the fact that in La La Land it was supposed to be like an episode that was supposed to be paired Babysitter, but I know Babysitter aired at the same time with Do the Fruit Shake. So it's like I was so confused on like how the air dates are supposed to be, and it's a reason why like it aired in Nicktoons first as La La Land and Babysitter. So like Nickelodeon, you didn't do your homework right, and I complained about it a lot, especially when we reviewed it a couple weeks ago with the Loud Casa Talks. I was like, this is Nickelodeon messing up again, and I'm like, guys, this is not how you're supposed to do it. But I don't know. It's weird how they schedule like episodes around, but yeah.
Yeah. I noticed something. They've been airing like Casagrandes marathons on Nicktoons every week. And
it's a thing. Like I don't know. Like I have Nicktoons now. And it feels like it's going to be like a permanent thing now. Which is great because I say for example like SpongeBob is going to be airing on Nickelodeon, and vice versa will go to Nicktoons, and they'll have like Casagrandes and Loud House ready for you. So it's like awesome. I could just go to that while I'm doing work.
Yeah. They've been like some of the episodes have been out of order. Like some things are airing different with other things that didn't air with before. It was so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like, next week, the Carolade episode is supposed to be paired with that Hector Vito episode, and they're only airing the Carolade episode next week by itself, and then the Hector one by itself, which is so weird. Just air them both together. I don't know why you have to do it separately.
I mean, like, it just makes it also confusing, Like, it's weird how they want to air some certain episodes, and they actually don't make it, like, the real block as it is. But
also,
it is
weird,
what
like...
it is what Nickelodeon does. I'm hearing Nat kind of cut off there.
Nat's breaking up.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh,
Connection issues. Connection issues.
Nat. Uh-oh. Hold on. We cannot hear that.
Oh, he's just like breaking up. I'm guessing her Discord is issue. Maybe reset. Maybe
That, you're
reset
breaking
Discord.
up.
Maybe reset Discord. Maybe it could help. But
Yeah, you'll need to come back, Nat, where you're breaking up.
weird sketching of the ears. So not the loud house song. Somebody in the chat said looking forward for more Carlade, and we're getting that, by the way, like a lot
Yes,
of it
next
recently.
week.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of that recently. If you've been noticing the episodes, I mean, we had that Truth or Consequences episode. Now we're gonna have this one coming out next Friday. So, it's just kind of like if you're into Carl and Adelaide, you're definitely going to be loving like this next episode. So it's like season 3 is definitely going off on a hitch with Carl and Adelaide.
Someone in the chat says there's quite a few Loud House and Casagrandes episodes I haven't seen yet. Since I no longer have cable, is there any other way to watch them? Well, we can't really recommend watching it illegally on this channel.
Sorry, Kiss Cartoon. Do never go to Kiss Cartoon. I hate the advertisements. Okay?
Watch cartoons online.
seriously,
Sorry.
seriously consider going to Paramount Plus, or I mean, you could take that YouTube TV free trial while you have it.
I mean, if you have the Nick app, the official Nick app, and you had cable, well, since you no longer have cable, you can't log in with a cable provider.
No.
That's what I do.
I think they do like a free episode.
Yeah, they do with the app, but the thing is, like, if you want to watch the whole like season or something, you need to like go to Paramount Plus or YouTube TV. Any of those
Paramount Plus. Like, if you want to catch up on the first 4 seasons of Loud House and the first season of Casagrandes, Paramount Plus. Absolutely. But illegally, you know, we can't do it here.
My deal is like, guys, just help the supporters out, and
Yeah.
I think, like,
Make sure you support the show legally.
Yeah, exactly. So that we get some numbers. Go to Paramount Plus or the Nick app, or actually watching it on Nickelodeon itself.
But I will say, if you have me on Discord, you can message me. I can give you another way to watch it. But that's only if you don't have a legal way, because the truth is, if you want to support a show, you have to pay money. That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's how it is.
But I think Paramount Plus has a free trial.
Yeah, they do. It's same with YouTube TV. And I know that right now, like, you have a 2-week free trial if you want to try YouTube TV.
So you can watch
and it has all the channels. Like, it has Nickelodeon, it has Teen Nick, it has Nicktoons, it has Nick Jr. So literally all of the Nick channels are going to be there. If you actually go for YouTube TV, it's better than cable. I will tell you that.
Yeah, but since you haven't seen any of these shows, there will be spoiler alerts. But I guess if you're a first-time viewer, then maybe we can, say if these episodes are good. That way you could check them out. So,
Yeah. All right. We should probably talk back about Lalo Land.
Yeah. Oh, you go first, Nate.
Okay, I guess I can go first since I was the one who actually first watched it. I remember, like, literally when it came out on Nicktoons, I told Sunny, it's like, hey, do you want to watch it with me so that we can actually like
he streamed it for me on Discord. We watched it together.
We watched it together.
Like,
yes,
sure. It's me.
I think the good part about this is that we actually have a Lalo episode, so we get to see Lalo become an actor. Being fabulous and just like being an actor with Phoebe Powers. Which, by the way, call back to that one episode of I Guess Who's Shopping for Dinner, because that's the first time we see Phoebe Powers, and the fact that Phoebe Powers came back for this episode kind of tells you like there's continuity that's happening here, which is awesome. And that's always been a problem, but there you go. Casagrandes are actually picking up on the whole continuity issue that has been happening with the Loud House. So awesome. Casagrandes is actually fixing this problem. Anyway, back to the whole episode itself. I love how like CJ, Roddy Ann, and Carl was trying to help out with Sergio with Lalo trying to get himself to become an actor. And I love the fact that like even in the tryouts, he ended up actually getting it because he actually looks like a dog, and I'm like, okay, cool. So that was like, okay, you're still gonna get it no matter what. So I'm guessing the whole script is pretty much like, oh yeah, Lalo will get the part. Here he comes as an actor, and he'll do his stunts and all that jazz. Um, and to say the least, like with Lalo being the celebrity and the kids being the entourage, I felt so bad for like Lalo because he was the one who's supposed to suffering the whole time while like Carl, Roddy Ann, and CJ were all pampered. Like you get to see Roddy Ann play video games in Lalo's trailer. You get to see Carl pretty much like take on Lalo's requests and just get like a chocolate fountain, which is interesting. But I do like the fact at the end too, where like Ronnie Ann saved where Ronnie Ann kind of realizes like, yeah, I would love to have a skate date with PB Powers, but at the same time I need to save my dog. So she ended up like, you know, helping out Lalo at the end. And nonetheless, it was still an interesting way to finish up the episode. But to say the least, like this episode was fun. I actually liked it for a first time Lalo episode. I thought it was really interesting. The fact that he could become a star and stuff like that. So there may be hopefully more potential for Lalo. Let's see what other episodes come up for Lalo. But yeah, good episode.
Yeah, I agree. Like after all the Sergio episodes we've been getting, and the majority of those episodes aren't that good except for maybe one or two. It was really nice to get a Lalo episode because I thought Lalo was so underutilized in the show as one of the main pets. Because like with Loud House, you have 4 pets versus the Casagrandes, you only have 2. And it's like, oh well, Sergio talks so he can get episodes. No, Lalo should get an episode too. So it's nice that they actually gave him one and they incorporate the kids into this episode. And like that, like I love like the underrated moments of this episode for me is how much Rodian loves Lalo, like as her dog. Like like one of my favorite scenes is when she's like complimenting Lalo, like when they first go to like have him audition. She's like, "Oh, who could say no to this face?" It's like, oh, it's so cute. And yeah, I love the callback to Phoebe Powers where it's like, oh hey, Roddy, and like as Nate Nomi said on their show, it's like, whoa, okay, continuity where Phoebe Powers remembered Roddy Ann from Who's Shopping for Dinner because yeah, they had met up before. Like she met her in that episode, which is cool. And yeah, like when Roddy Ann was trying to decide between hanging out with Phoebe Powers or saving her dog, even though like Lalo wasn't gonna get hurt because hey, it's a movie set, Roddy Ann was still worried about her dog. So like when the director's like, "Oh man, you messed up the set," and Ronnie is like, all I wanted to do was just protect my dog." It's like, oh, every time she says that about Lalo, it makes my heart so full that she loves her dog that much. Like because again, Ronnie and and Bobby are still like I mean it's season 2, but like they're still kind of new members to the Casagrande family. So the fact that Rodian has embraced Lalo as her dog specifically now is just it's so heartwarming to me that she cares so much about Lalo. And I'll still like praise that in the Pearl Malo episode where it's like, man, I want to see more episodes of like Lalo and Roddy Ann because I just love how much she loves Lalo that much. So that's why I really like this episode. Again, that I don't have a lot to say on it. I think it's just a very cute episode, and I'm very happy that Lalo got another episode in season 3. But yeah, Lalo needs more episodes. I love him. He's a good boy, and yeah, this is a very good episode.
I'd like to add onto that. One of my favorite lines of this episode was Carl going up to the assistant and saying, "Are you the person we get to boss around? Here's a list of demands."
Oh yeah,
So out of left field.
This was Lalo's demand, sure.
Yeah.
A chocolate fountain.
Yeah.
I love how the assistant was saying like, "Isn't chocolate bad for dogs?" Which is true.
Also, another really cool continuity nod. The director in this episode was the same director from the Loud House episode "Fool Me Twice," which is very interesting that they kind of used her, I guess, the same model character because
yeah, I feel like she's like a director design. Like she also appeared in Fright Fight in the Loud House too. So it's like,
oh, okay,
yeah. So it just tells you like, oh, if you want a director, it's just pretty much her design.
She's getting around places, being a movie director.
Well, this tells you that they're collaborating too, Loud House and Casa Grande, so she could actually hop into the Loud House and do something about in Hollywood, while at the same time he can also do some. She can also do something in the Casagrandes, being up and director there too. So it's like best of both worlds in this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like one scene I kind of like really hated. I mean, like not really hated, but more like made me cry. It was the one episode. Was that one scene where like we were trying to find an emotional moment for Lalo to cry. In that one part where like the ball, like she was like a young little dog, and then like a ball just fell down into the drain, and he was kind of weeping, and then like the fact the whole apartment ended up flooded too, and I'm like, oh dang, okay, this is a very sad moment for you.
Oh yeah, puppy Lalo. When he was like,
Hey,
think of
Lalo.
something sad is like as a puppy, and then we get to see puppy. Like I'm thinking about Pearl Malos, who just came out. Is like, is
Ah,
that the sequel episode? That's a little bit better than this one. 'Cause it's like, wow, I'm being reminded of that episode now that just came out. And it's like a sequel
Can we
episode.
get more? I think we're just feeling more Lalo episodes where we always get to see him like as a young like little dog, which is cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. I love Lalo. He's a good boy. I want him to
Good
get more
boy.
episodes with Sergio, please. He's a good boy.
Mhm. I think we Nat, did you want to put anything for this episode or?
I don't really have any strong feelings on it. Just that it was cute. And funny with like especially with Carl, like you said, where the kids were like kind of using Lalo as just a way to get free stuff. It was kind of funny.
Gotta respect the hustle, right?
Yes. We know from a certain episode recently that Carl is the master manipulator.
Yeah.
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 We'll talk about that later today in this episode, or
Yep.
later in this session.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's move on to throwing pains. Hey, I got it right. I didn't know what was next. I just figured throwing pain was next.
Yay! Actually,
Yay!
one big episode for one secondary character. Anyways,
AKA the random snow day episode. Why is it? I said this a million times on my podcast. Why is it a snow day? Why is it a snow day? It's so random.
That is something Nickelodeon like mispromoted because it said like, oh, winter special.
New holiday special. It's throwing pain. That's not a special, guys. Please, whoever said that, please, in their marketing team, I hope Nickelodeon fired that person, your marketing team. Please.
Oh my god. Because I was so like thrown off the fact that it was like it was supposed to be a Christmas episode. Awesome, but no, it wasn't another Christmas episode. It's pretty much them in the snow, or more like them in the snow while they try to fight for the gym. That was the whole entire episode.
Yeah, someone's in the chat. Why is the school open on a snow? Yeah, why is school open on a snow day? Okay, and also like Naomi, you pointed this out in your podcast. Why don't the skate team just skate somewhere else? Like inside.
Yes.
Why do they have to be outside? They're like, oh man, it's too cold to skate. Well, go do something else. Like watch a movie or something. Play some video games. Why do you have to skate today of all days?
Of all places, you could have done other things besides skating. It can't just be all skating
so
for you
weird.
guys.
It didn't have to be a snow day to have this whole episode. You know, it's so random.
This was just interesting because it's like, I don't know if you're actually going to skate in the snow because, I'm pretty sure there is no gyms that actually have a skate. Like, there's no skate park that's indoors or anything for you. So, it's
Omi in the chat, dodge the balls with lots of
Oh god.
Okay,
that's a pin. That's a pin post there.
I feel like after this episode of Throwing Pains, this is when we get to see like Becky actually like become a significant character in the Casagrandes, don't you think?
Yeah. She stood out in this episode very much.
All right, so I already started first. I don't know who wants to start on this one.
I'll go first because I don't have a lot to say on it. But yeah, I guess we just should point out that Becky has a girlfriend named Dodge.
Yes.
Representation in Casagrandes, let's go. We love to see it. They're girlfriends. Gotta respect the gays. But yeah, it's a Ronnie and Friends episode. There's really it's like the Lincoln and Friends episodes in Loud House. There's always so much you can say on that was good too. That was meh. Like this is a good one. I I like that. Like one of my favorite scenes in this episode, besides Becky being confirmed to be a lesbian, is that Ronnie Ann really stepped up as a leader in this episode because she was teaching her her group how to dodge the dodgeballs and such. And then like when they were down, Ronnie Ann was like, "Hey guys, we shouldn't give up. We're a team. We always stick together." Like she was telling them like Sid, when we climbed the mountain, or when we held Samir, when we held Samir for the scary movie. It's like we're always together, we're always working together. Like that really shows how much, like, again, underrated Ronnie A character development, where she's stepping up as a leader to her friend group. Because like with Lincoln's friend group, he treats them more like a family, versus Ronnie and treats her group like a real team. They're working together, like I really like that. And then Laird being the star athlete, stepping up, be like, I'm gonna help you out. And yeah, and using Roddy and using his hair to catch the dodgeballs was great. So always gotta appreciate Laird stepping up, being a good character. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. That's all I have to say. I like some standout stuff in it, but it's just a pretty standard good Roddy and group episode. That's it.
So I think the one thing that came out for me was the fact that Becky has a girlfriend with Dodge, and they look cute together. Like that, I love the fact that they're being all lovey-dovey. So it just tells you like they're an absolute pair, and it's just cute seeing Becky and Dodge. I hope they actually emphasize that more. I mean, like obviously you kind of don't want to put a lot of it just because it kind of does get annoying, but at the same time, I mean, like if we're gonna go forward into whatever Becky appears in these episodes, he just only happens one time. So that's good that they're actually just keeping it in a mediocre tone. But I would love to see, like, say for example, like a double date, maybe like have Dodge and have Dodge and Becky together with like some other couple. I don't know who, but yeah, I mean,
Sid and Roddy Ann. A.
you could.
You represent the gays here, buddy.
Or we can have Roddy Kid also.
Or Sid Kid, let's go! Happy OG3, everybody.
But besides that, I mean, like, yeah, the episode was definitely like interesting. The fact that like the skate team wants to have like a spot for them to skate, and the gym is definitely that one spot. But you don't need to actually skate all the time, and we explained that already earlier, like a couple minutes ago. I do love the whole competition thing where it's like, yeah, round one, oh, the the dodgeball team lost to the Ronnie Ann's team, and the other thing too is that also Ronnie Ann had a lot of practice as well. Like she got help with the Casagrandes with catching, with like throwing a dodgeball and all that jazz, and that turned out to actually work out when they played the competition. I love the fact that like, oh yeah, I love how the dodgeball team is like, I have one player that is down. I'm gonna bring in my girlfriend. Here comes Becky, and Becky's actually crazy when it comes to like, playing dodgeball. And you can totally see like all the routines that she does. Like she literally winds up for a throw, and literally actually like hits Ronnie Ann like to the wall. I'm like, oh my god, okay, you're a very strong woman. But yeah, Becky. But yeah, it's kind of cool that the fact that like only Becky was just a secondary character to keep seeing in the background. Now we get to see her a lot more emphasized in the Casa Grande, which is amazing. It just tells you like more secondary characters needs more like attention, and definitely we see it here, especially with Becky and Dodge and throwing paints. So, I mean, I do love the whole concept of this whole competition with the dodgeball teams, and the fact that like in the end they ended up winning. Was it the Ronnie Ann and the squad ended up winning their team? But the other thing too is like I love the whole resolution at the end too, where they're kind of saying like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Let's just share the gym. I kind of felt that was kind of like you could have just done that instead of doing a competition, but um, it still were equaled out at the end. So I guess it was a good ending. I would still say a little bit questionable. Kind of feels like a cop out, but nonetheless, I loved how the episode pretty much was taken with the whole competition with dodgeball team and the skate team, just trying their best to fight for the gym, and just the fact that we ended up having more character development when it comes to secondary characters, and the fact that we also get like character development for Ronnie Ann, because yeah, like what Sunny says, she definitely does show up as a leader in this episode, and it's really cool to see. But yeah, awesome episode.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna be completely honest. This episode pissed me off.
Ew.
Oof.
Explain.
At first I was kind of neutral to Becky, but she just like really made me mad in this episode. And I was like on the borderline of putting her in my list of most hated characters. Which, if you know me, the only two characters in that list is Bendy from Foster's and Lila from Miraculous.
Oof. Big
Ooh.
oof.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
Ow.
I
But-
mean, she's been worse.
But-
Gossipy Girl.
I want to say I
Yeah.
want to put her in like what was it God, I mean like the Foster's character that you pointed out. Yeah, she's terrible.
I
but
don't think
Becky,
like she's not as bad, but it just really made me mad. I was
everybody else. I mean, like I said, everyone has their hot
and
takes.
but
Yeah.
now like yeah, and so then the fact that even the fact that they made her gay couldn't redeem her for me. I was just like, okay, she's gay, whatever. She's still a bitch.
Oh my god. Okay, so wait. Okay, here's the thing. Please don't let Gossipy Girl end up like ruining Becky's character. I mean, come on. It's just okay. She was just
Yeah.
a bully that one time. Okay.
I mean, from yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Nat. I'm sorry.
And all the like characters have vanished and bit the dust. But but then after that, like she's had episodes where she was okay, like the one with oh my goodness, I know we haven't talked about it yet, but it was the recent one with her and Samir. Like that one was okay, and then the one from yesterday, she was okay in that one. So like I don't hate her. I think it was just one of those things where I was like, man, if I could punt this child out the window, I would.
Everything you're saying is exactly my feelings about her and Gossipy Girl. Like everything you're saying is like this with Gossipy Girl. Like I just wanted to throw her out the window. Why are you here in this episode? Go away. You know?
Oh, man.
You just
Yeah.
ruined my head. Okay, we get it.
But at the same time, it's like, and then I thought about it. I was like, because I watched it like, when was it? I don't remember when I watched it. It was like before it aired here. Like I watched it like when it aired in another country. So that was like a couple months ago, I think. But so I've cooled out about it now. But and then I thought, well, the fact that she's gay is also kind of cool for the fact that she's not like the nicest person. So it's also kind of cool to have like a lesbian couple where they're just like I mean obviously they're kids, but they're like not really the nicest kids, because usually like especially in cartoons when you have like the LGBT, they're always like lesbian couple that like it's kind of funny in that way too. So like I don't hate her. It was just one of those things where she made me mad.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it, but like the recent episodes with her season 3, she's been fine. And like the problem was after Gossipy Girl, I dreaded every moment Becky showed up on screen. I'm like, please, just don't do anything that will make me angry again. I swear, like every time I would feel a chill down my spine when I saw Becky. Like, no, I get the war flashbacks from Gossipy Girl, because like, okay, if you just like, because like I never knew what she was supposed to be as a character. Was she like friends with the friend group, or was she a bully? Like I just don't know. And like in the Samir episode, she's shoving kids in lockers, so yeah, she's a bully. But like she's not like over the top, like again, like she was in Gossipy Girl, where she embarrassed Roddy and throughout the entire school. Like, don't do that to the main characters. Like, I don't want to condemn Becky's bullying. Like, no, don't be bullying little kids, but don't bully the main characters. Like don't do that. Just have Becky be like a chaotic neutral, where like she's not terrible to the main crew, but she could still be rude, I guess. I don't know. I just don't do whatever you did in Gossipy Girl, okay, Miguel? You made up for it, but just don't make that mistake again, all right?
Yeah.
And we'll like Becky. You know, I like Becky. I don't want to hate her. But after that, I was like, I just don't know. Just make her, just make her just don't do that again. That's all I'm saying. Just don't do that again.
I think I have a feel. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Um,
I was just gonna say, like, I don't talk bad about her like on Twitter and stuff because I do have this one mutual who really likes Becky, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it to myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I don't hate Becky, but when you do, like, yeah, she did that to my favorite character, and I will not. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna forgive this. But once I saw her, at least being fine in the recent episodes, I'm like, okay, do that, and I won't be mad again. So okay, you're cool, Becky, for now.
I mean, here's the thing. I think what happened after Gossipy Girl, I believe that's when they started saying like, okay, we should probably respect Becky more, and that's the reason why
Yeah,
we're
we
having
should-
season. Yeah, that's the reason why we're having like season 3 episodes of Becky, where she's actually trying to redeem herself after that blow up that she did with Ronnie Ann, that one episode. But
They
so
like
there you
realized
go.
early on, like again, if you realize that you messed up Becky's character, why'd you do that episode in the first place? I don't understand. Why did you
It was just
approve of that
look.
episode if
She
you
was
knew you were
just
gonna
a
fix her?
she was just a random secondary character, and then she just popped up to actually bully Ronnie Ann. I'm like, oh, what the.
That was okay. I'm cool again. So it's like watch the season 3 finale be like she throws Roddy into a trash can or something.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Don't give them ideas.
Don't give him ideas. Don't give him ideas.
He's listening. It's gonna happen, and then I'll be right, and I'll have it on recording.
Oh my god, Omid putting up the song. We don't talk about Becky.
We don't talk about gossip,
Yeah.
girl.
Oh,
we
God.
don't talk about gossip, girl.
I mean, to add on, I usually see in the earlier episodes before Gossipy Girl, Becky was sort of chill with at least Ronnie Ann. Then Gossipy Girl happened, and now she's chill again. Mostly.
Yes, so watch
Yeah.
them do like another episode where she's not chill with Roddy in again for some reason.
There's so many
Yeah.
emotions.
I mean, she did tattle on Roddy and dad with her teacher's front, like, oh, Roddy and dad's dating her
Yeah.
teacher, like
It wasn't that.
brat.
It wasn't that bad. But then it was just something that that you have to say. I mean, that's something where it's like, yeah, you just pretty much put it out in public. Of course, someone's gonna spread that rumor around.
Of course, somebody's gonna see and be like a tattletale.
It was probably Lola Loud.
They would get along very well, Becky and Lola Loud.
Oh yeah. We need more interactions with Loud Casagrandes characters, please.
Oh, I'm waiting for it, man.
All right, we're gonna move on now to Skaters Gonna Hate.
Oh, the
Tony
awesome
Hawk!
Tony Hawk time.
Tony Hawk.
Tony
Actually,
Hawk!
Actually, the fact that Tony Hawk, the real Tony Hawk, is actually in this episode is just like, okay, awesome. You're actually having celebrities in this. It's awesome.
Literally, when this episode was announced with Tony Hawk, I was reminded of that scene in The Simpsons where Tony Hawk appears and he's hanging out with Bart, and then Tony Hawk takes him to school, and Bart's like, "Thanks, Tony Hawk. I'll see you later, Tony Hawk." Tony Hawk, and then like he goes to Millhouse, is like Tony Hawk.
Was that
Well,
like the last time he was on Nickelodeon? Wasn't it like when he was in Rocket Power?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
gonna say. I think that's the last time I
Yes.
saw like him in a Nicktoon. So it's been a while, like more than
About
20
almost
years.
20 years.
Yeah, I was gonna
Almost
say
20 years.
because I know Rocket Power. I remember that episode where like Auto Rocket was like totally I felt like a fanboy for Tony Hawk. So yeah, it was just awesome. I mean I love Rocket Power, by the way. So so it's just interesting to actually see him again pop up in a Nicktoon. Which by the way, there's a lot of Nicktoons that came in before the Casagrandes came up, and then out of the bloom you get to see Tony Hawk come back again and actually voice in another Nicktoon like the Casagrandes. So it's like, first off, holy crap, an awesome celebrity. an awesome skater coming into the show out of the bloom to pretty much become a voice, and I'm like, oh my god,
And
that's
I
awesome.
think it's probably because I think it's been a long time since Nickelodeon has had a cartoon where sports was like a main part of it,
Right,
from
right.
what I can remember.
Well,
Or
then
at least
again,
with skateboarding.
they didn't do it extreme sports like Rocket Power, for example. That's the only last time I think I've seen like the Nicktoons. Well, no, what am I talking about? TMNT is the one that they also do skateboarding there too.
Oh yeah.
I will say that Tony Hawk was on the YouTube show Good Mythical Morning like 2 days after this episode aired,
Oh
and
my
they
god,
did
I
not
love
mention
Good
it.
Mythical Morning.
Ooh.
They did not.
Oh
They
my
Did
did
not
God.
mention it.
Dang. Oh my god, if I ever heard them mention the Casagrandes, that would be the day. Because I watch them all the time.
Same.
That's weird because they when they announced the episode, they did like a whole article on Tony Hawk being in this episode to say how excited he was for it. So I'm surprised he didn't like promote it.
Yeah, that was not what he was on
Yeah.
there for. I was so disappointed.
I would have said something about it in the comments.
I should have.
Wait, Omi in the chat, what's the part that pissed you off? I don't remember if you said it on your podcast. You probably did. But you can type it out.
What was that one part?
Oh, about how Carla... Yeah, like, okay, that's the thing,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
What? How? Okay, yeah. Ronnie Ann, my sweetie, you are so stupid
that was
to
it.
believe
That
that.
was
My
it, right.
gosh. You are so dumb. How did anybody believe that was... Oh, hey, it's Laird again. Yes, Laird grew like 7 inches taller and looks nothing like Laird, and is another, he's Hispanic. It looks like my... Hey, he looks like my Uncle Carlos, No! It's like... Yeah, we believe that's Laird. Yeah, no. No,
It's so
stupid.
weird. I mean, like, what did he do? Just like put? Oh god, it was interesting because like
What
Carlos
the flip,
would put a wig.
as
Carlos,
Omi would say.
Carlos would put the wig on and just put a helmet on and look, he's way taller than Laird, and yet everybody's believing that he's Laird. I'm like,
We believe you.
Are you guys really that?
Hey, Laird, when did you get a growth spurt in like the last 5 seconds?
No one even pointed it out. No one even pointed it out. It's like, oh hey, there's Laird. He's gonna do that trick, and he did it. But yeah.
Oh, I think whenever he mentioned something about that on Discord, I think I told him it was probably like miraculous logic. I said, "Oh, it's
How
just,
do you not
it's
see
just
that
miraculous
baronet in the
logic."
mask?
Yeah, that's exactly what I took it as. It's like, oh, it's just miraculous logic. That's all.
Yeah, it's like I love that. Like in Prankiversary, Ronnie Ann can see through Lincoln's disguise as a mailman, but yet she can't even figure out that Carlos is like 7 inches taller than Laird of all characters. Like, my gosh, when the plot has to make her stupid, I just laugh.
I think that was a worse thing than continuity. Honestly.
Oh my god.
Honestly, no. I could say
Honestly,
continuity was that all I want, but it's like, falling for that. No, I'll work on it. But the good things about this episode is that I am so happy this was a Carlos episode, because I was thinking it was going to be about, again, Ronnie and her friends, but this was really focused on Carlos being Carlos X, which hasn't been referenced in the entire show since season 1. Which is crazy.
Literally the first episode of season 1. So it's like
literally the first episode of the entire series, and it's not been brought back since now. That's insane to me.
That's my thing is like, yeah, there's your continuity there. I'm like, yeah, where's the reference back to Carlos X? I would love to see more about Carlos. Besides him being a teacher, he's also a skater too, aka Carlos X. So it's like awesome. That episode was awesome to actually kickstart the Casagrandes. And then throughout the whole time we've been watching the Casagrandes, we never heard about Carlos X ever until now, which is pretty cool considering that it's like, oh yeah, Carlos X. Here's Carlos X, but we have him with a celebrity. Here's Tony Hawk with it as well. So it's like, oh, you're making it really big. The fact that Carlos X is back.
Yeah, I've been wanting a lot more Carlos in the show because he's like one of the characters that doesn't get a lot of episodes or focus. So him getting an episode in season 3 was so overdue. And like in the Carlos X stuff, because again, the last time they ever referenced Carlos being a skater in the show was in Chocolate Force, but it's a dream. It's Carlos' dream where he's like, I'm gonna skate in the halls with no pants on. But again, it's a dream, so it doesn't really count. And also in the comics, but again, doesn't count. So in the show, yes. And I love that they incorporate Tony Hawk into Carlos's backstory, where Carlos thought that Tony Hawk ruined his career because he thought he pushed him. And it's like, no, dude, I was giving you a high five. It's like, Tony Hawk was such a nice guy, and Carlos like despised him. So it's like, Carlos was gonna like cheat by copying off of Tony's team and giving it to hit the skate group, which Carlos being Roddy in and the skate group's coach should have happened like episodes ago. This should have happened a while back, but I'm happy that happened. And yeah, I just like the Carlos focus of this episode and how it incorporates into his backstory of how we learned that Carlos found his love of books through being in the hospital for a while, and just incorporating Tony Hawk into the backstory to finding out, oh dude, I was just giving you a high five. I really do appreciate you. I wouldn't ruin your career and stuff. So I think it's great that we got more focus on Carlos, because again, I wanted him to get more focus in the show because I like Carlos, and he was like the only character that really didn't get a lot to do in the show. So incorporate again the Carlos X stuff back again in the show, and having Tony Hawk as the guest star was neat, and then incorporating that into his backstory was really nicely done. So I think it works really well in that case. And honestly, Sergio, I gotta give it to Sergio for actually being a good guy for once. And when Carlos was telling Sergio, "Oh, go record the thing," he actually showed Tony that Carlos was cheating. So gotta give props to Sergio for once, to actually not messing things up like certain episodes where he's like, I did the bad thing, or is like whatever. It's like, hey, Sergio's certain bad thing actually worked in the end, so I'll give props to him for doing that. But one time. One time on that. But yeah, no, I think it's a good episode. It's just a good episode to explore Carlos's character, and I hope they do that more in the future because he deserves it.
Yep. That's how much I can say there. I mean, I love to see Carlos X again, and love the fact that Tony Hawk, like out of all the people, Tony Hawk would come in to talk about, to pretty much be in this episode with skaters, and considering that Ronnie and Squad is mostly about skaters, so it's awesome to see that. But yeah, there's nothing much to say. It is pretty much all exciting. And the fact that it's just it kind of reminds me like this episode becoming like a like a Rocket Power episode where you get to see a lot of people skateboarding and all. They have a competition, and it turned out to be all fun and games and all. So yeah, not much to say. It's a pretty good episode.
Anything you want to add to this one, Nat?
No, I think I pretty much got it. What I said earlier. I think, like, just Tony Hawk being relevant in cartoons again, somehow. Especially because, like, that whole meme that I see with him on Twitter where, like, when he goes out somewhere in real life and people are like, has anyone ever told you that you look like Tony Hawk? Or something like that. If they referenced that in this episode, that would be funny, but they didn't. But it reminded me of that still, just because he used to be famous a long time ago, and then now he's trying to come back to being relevant. So maybe this is the start of it. Maybe.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next up is Born to Be Mild. Yes!
Oh, wait, we need to have Seren start this one off because
Yeah, Seren starts.
This is Carl's episode.
It's a Carl episode.
I actually, during the Casagrandes marathon today, they showed this one again, and I was doing something for a class, and I just stopped everything and watched it again. That's how much there's nothing. This episode is one of those that, I mean, Brookline and Sinker had comments like, Carl is still Flip Jr., but this is the episode that kind of turned Carl around maybe for a lot of people, because he's not Flip Jr. in this episode. He actually tries to help Alexis in his own little Carl way.
Go ahead.
Were you going to say something?
No, I was gonna No, I have nothing to say.
We're
Go ahead.
waiting for
Keep going.
you.
Oh, okay. If you want to interject, go ahead. So it takes
I'm
me
good.
some
Oh,
time.
I want to say something real quick about Carl because I'll praise him for a second. Yeah, I think this episode actually turned me around. Like, I liked Carl, but I love Carl now. He's such a cute little booger. Like, I love him very much. Like, the scene that really turned me around was the beginning part where he's at the cafeteria and he's sitting on the edge of the cafeteria table talking to the lunch lady about El Falcone, and he's like narrating the comic, and he doesn't really, I guess he doesn't really hang out with anybody at school. Like, I don't know if Adelaide goes to school with him every day, but he's just like chilling there talking about El Falcone, and the lunch lady's like, okay, dude, like, you need to go, like, other people need to be served, and Carl's just like hyper fixated on El Falcone, and he's just like, I'll tell you the rest tomorrow. Like, that was the moment where I'm like, I love you. That was so adorable that I was just like, yes, you are very cute, Carl. You won me over. Just from that adorable scene.
Yeah, that scene in particular is something that, like you, I really liked Carl before this episode, but there was something about this episode that showed more of a humanity in him than typically, and it really made me just love him fully.
Yeah. Well,
And then him basically listening to El Falcone to help Alexis. That listening to his role model to help another person out. That's just a good step in the right direction for me. Now, the rest of the episode, I'm going to skip to the end because I could talk about this for half an hour, but I'm not going to. Because I did an episode of my podcast on it already. At the end, when everyone got called into the principal's office, and Carl happily wanting to take the suspension for Alexis, that another thing that has shown me his character growth throughout the show, and it was just amazing to see that. Because I honestly, when they did that, didn't think that he would take the punishment for Alexis.
Yeah, Carl's come a long way in the show. Like, I think the most underrated character development for Carl to me is in Two for Consequences, what he really cares about how Adelaide would feel if she doesn't get the money for her tooth. Like, he goes out of his way to like tell Bobby, like, you know, if Adelaide doesn't see that money underneath her tooth, that she'll be super disappointed. Like, that was the moment where I was like, wow, Carl's come a long way. And the fact that he was like willing to just help Alexis out, because it's like, dude, like, you're getting bullied, that's not cool, I'll help you out, was like, to me at first felt super like out of character for Carl to be so helpful. But then I realized that like wow, like, yeah, Carl's come a long way, and that was so nice of him to just help out, you know, like I was thinking about like in Utter Mess when he's just like chilling in the background, like, hey, I'll help you out, Roddy, and you know, like, and he needs something out of it. Whereas here he was just like, yeah, dude, you're getting bullied by Ricky, who finally has an actual appearance in the show, Becky's brother, who was also a bully. So yeah, we got two. It runs in the family, but yeah, no, I
Yep.
just really liked Carl in this one. It really turned me over to be a bigger Carl fan than I already was. Because again, I liked him before, but this episode really gave him a lot more humanity. In this episode, to be like, oh, I'm just gonna help out a friend and spread some rumors about you, about Alexis, and then I love the scene when they're about to get into the fight with the bullies. And Carl's like, okay, I got my guys. And it's just Carl, Sergio, and Lalo stepping up together. And I was laughing so hard. And I'm like, your guys are just Lalo and Sergio. How do you think this is going to end? It's so ridiculous. Like, and yeah, like, I love at the end where, I think this episode is a little too, like, I describe it as like a Saturday morning cartoon bullying episode where it's just like, oh well, you know, let's just talk and hug it out, you know. So Alexis hugs the bullies, and like Ricky and the other guy never didn't know what hugs were, so it's like, let's just hug it out, boys. I was like, that's too schmaltzy, you know, little too sugary sweet for me. But I don't know. I think it's a good episode just because I like Carl a lot, and him willing to help Alexis was nice, but the ending was just too a little too sugary sweet for the Loud House and the Casagrandes, you know. But I still liked it a lot.
Yeah, And I guess another
Yeah.
thing I should add is like you were saying, Carl reading y'all Falcone to the lunch lady, and then him going and helping Alexis. I feel like since it seems like he doesn't hang out with many people outside of his family at school, he saw Alexis getting picked on, and it was kind of a realization for him that Alexis doesn't have many friends too, so he wanted to help him out.
Yeah, like I'm very surprised that Carl doesn't have a lot of friends. Cause like he seems like a guy that would just be like, "Hey, I'm the cool dude. Let's hang out and have a group of friends and stuff." Like again, like I don't know why, but I'm surprised Adelaide isn't in school with him or anything. So I'm not sure if she goes to school with him or doesn't or is homeschooled or whatever. So it's just strange that he's like by himself and then saw Alexis and maybe they'll become friends in the future. And also like to point out something, why is Laird just by himself in this episode? Why is he all alone? Like,
Good
where's the
question.
skate?
Good question.
Why is he
Where's
just
this?
chilling by himself?
I was wondering too. Is it just because it's just a random little moment where like, oh yeah, this is not a Ronnie Ann episode, so we'll just put in one of Ronnie Ann's friends in this episode just for y'all
Yeah,
to
I mean, I
remember.
like Laird, but it's like, poor Laird's just like by himself at lunch. It's like, where's the
I love
skate group? Like,
his lines are pretty much just like Mondays, am I right? Tuesdays, am I right? Tuesday afternoons, am I right? That's literally his
Laird's very
line.
relatable. But I was like, poor guy.
I know.
Because the plot told Laird to sit by himself. Oh, poor
Oh
Laird.
wow.
Oh.
Oh.
Don't do that to my man Laird.
Yeah, but hey, Laird is starting to grow on me now, okay? I know that he
Yeah.
just was a random character from the first season. Now he's a part of the skate team, so it's like you gotta love him. You gotta love him now just because he's now going to be like in every episode where Ronnie and squad is now. I do have to say this though, for a first Alexis episode, I mean you gotta say this too because this is also emphasizing Alexis as well. Remember, he was trying to, man himself up. He can't just be always, being bold all the time. So like he has to stand up for himself and fight off the bullies as much as possible. That's the reason why he had those lessons with Carl, which just is awesome to hear. Just it's awesome to see this too, because like we keep seeing episodes of Carl a whole lot in the Casagrandes, but at the same time, there are some episodes where you see selfish Carl, where you get to see Carl just try to be just skeezy Carl, try to just go for money, that kind of Carl. But there's been episodes of Carl where you get to see him like be helpful. Like say for example, Duty Fruit Shake, Tooth and Consequences. He's helping out people. And this one is no exception for sure because he definitely is helping Alexis out, especially with the fact that he's bullying, which is also like when I look at this episode, it kind of feels like it's a lesson to everybody too. It's like, yeah, no bullying. So you have to stand up for yourself, like what Carl is teaching Alexis. And I love the fact that like throughout all the lessons, he ended up like making Alexis tough. Like he literally had like a scar on his eye. He had like a tough jacket. I love that he decorated his own tuba too. So it's like, yeah, man, you're a very tough cookie now. And the fact that he also stood up against those bullies. So it tells you like Carl's lessons were really definitely working. And yeah, shout outs to Ricky, who actually is a part of this episode and is also Becky's brother. And interesting because now we get to see Becky and Ricky probably a whole lot now in the Casagrandes. We'll see. The whole fight scene at the end was also pretty cool. Yeah, Carl's and his crew was pretty much Lalo and Sergio.
My
it's
guys.
Like, I'm like, you have anybody else besides those two?
Dude, how do you think this is gonna end for you guys with a dog and a parrot? I mean, maybe Sergio could like rip their eyes out or something, but
maybe. I mean, you sharpen your claws for that. Oh, and I love the fact that like, yeah, Ricky and that one other guy, Julius.
Julius.
He also had he has a squirrel. He had a squirrel who also like was also angry too. So that's why he's like fighting Lalo. And I'm like, what? Why did the squirrel pop in? And he's also fighting. And then definitely at the end where like Alexis is about to be suspended and it's like Carl taking the heat too because Carl did teach Alexis how to be tough. I think that whole ending definitely really meant something for Carl. It just tells you like his character growth where he's like he has to defend for himself too. He pretty much has to like I'm not gonna let people have the blame. I'm the one to be blamed for. So that's why he took the heat for that one. And the fact that also Alexis is learning something that he needs to toughen up with bullies. The whole hug scene was actually pretty like interesting because it just gives out a warm aura whenever you hug, and it's like, okay, I get it. Hugs work, so there you go. But yeah, like I said,
Poor
really,
Becky and Ricky don't know what hugs are. It's kind of
no, they
sad.
just continue. They're continuing to be mean. That runs in the family,
Yeah.
like you
What's
said.
a hug? Are you okay there, Ricky? Something going on with the family background there? Becky and Ricky, are you okay?
But yeah, like I said, it was a really good episode for Carl. I really hope we get to see more Carl episodes like this, where he actually helps people, not become like the selfish person that he could be sometimes when the Carl episodes. But yeah, like I said, really awesome episode. Definitely one of the top ones here in season 3.
But then next episode he takes over an entire school. We had it for a moment, and yep, he took. Remember, guys, Carl took over an entire school. Yeah, I'm gonna be ranty about that for a while.
You wouldn't do the same?
Well, if I would take over the Casagrandes writers' room, that's what I would do. You want to add anything, Nat?
Just that Alexis is absolutely adorable and precious.
Yes. Never
Yes.
hurt the boy. Never hurt that boy.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, he is too cute.
And like I said, we never seen Alexis having like his own episode. We keep on seeing him as a secondary character. Like, say for example in Karate Chops, he was there just to support like Adelaide and Carl. But in this episode, he definitely is the main focus. Same with Carl. So it's like, yes, I need more secondary characters actually having their own focus episodes, like this for example. So it just tells you like how Alexis is and how great of a character he'll be.
Yeah. Again, Casagrandes is always incorporating their secondary characters into episodes more than Loud House, and Loud House should take notes. Oh.
Definitely.
To say
Okay.
the least for Sale by Loners, like that one episode where they took that chemistry from the Casagrandes and put it in there.
Yeah.
The most random pairing of Mr. Grouse and Mr. Ballhoff. They're still the most random pairing I've ever seen in the show.
Next on the list is the Rose in the Band, which I just covered a few days ago.
Hey, where's Neo? We need him in the chat, boys. We got Neo's boy here.
Neo, he's the Bobby
Neo?
fan here. Bobby #1 fan here.
Yes, we need it for the boy. And the extended music video, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's a short. It was interesting because it was also like pulled as a short. It was like, oh, Casagrandes short, awesome. I'm guessing they really are doing like music videos. They did the whole Do the Fruit Shake, and they also did was it I'm Back from the Operation Popstar.
Now release them on Spotify, Nickelodeon. Where's the remix?
Where's
Come
our,
on!
Where's our Casagrandes soundtrack? Literally,
Where's our soundtrack? Release them because Carlos Penvega is an amazing singer. Also, I'm very disappointed that this was not a BTR reunion. It should have been, by the way.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
You keep on putting a tweet about it. Yeah, you keep on putting a tweet about it saying like, "Where's Big Time Rush?" Because it would have been a perfect chance to have Big Time Rush actually in the show. But
yeah,
no,
they could have done it. But oh well, maybe next time.
Look, they're reuniting by having a concert already. So give them time. Give them time. It'll probably happen.
Yes. Anybody want to go first on this one, or?
I guess I could like talk about it a little bit. I just recently watched it, so I'm going to like maybe have a little bit of like some ifs and all that. But look, Bobby's a great singer. I didn't know his dream job was. I didn't know his dream was going to become like a pop star or something like that. But then again, he is a pop star by being in Big Top Rush. So Bobby, just Bobby joining a band, and the fact that he continues to have like this punk look because like the band that he wanted to join was a punk band, and it's like, well, okay, so you want to just become a punk rocker. And the fact that he uses like ketchup to use as his like red hair and all the shredded clothes that he keeps putting up, and the whole whatever thing that he keeps on saying, it's like, yeah, he can totally pull off that role. But nonetheless, I thought that was just I mean, there's not really much I can say about it. It's just more of Bobby just continuing to become like a person who loves music. But I think the best thing overall, like, yeah, you're still the punk rocker person, but at the same time, it's like this is not you. Your attitude also is bad on the family as well. I love the fact that like Hector even said like, yeah, I don't like you anymore. Like, what the heck? You become a bad boy. That Bobby had to like change his image back to his regular self, and the fact that also at the ending too, where like Bobby just ended up having a song with that one shop owner, and it turned out to actually work out well, considering like those punk bandmates actually wanted to rock out with Bobby. So to say the least, like it's like works out in the end. It really helps out Bobby's character and the fact that like we never had a Bobby episode in so long. So, well, since teed off, but like I said, it was great to see this. Great to see Bobby again. Great to see him have an episode like this, and actually see him as a musician because but yes, the voice actor is also a singer as well. So yeah, definitely a good episode with Boys in the Band.
I'm gonna add on to that by saying how much I loved the original song that was in this episode. But that's really all I have to add but that song was just incredible.
Oh yeah, it was.
I'm just happy it had a music video, so it's like it's awesome with the music video too
I haven't seen the music video yet. I need to.
on YouTube TV, I think.
One thing that like I think they posted it on Instagram. But with
Maybe, but I remember
thing that
like
confused me
Go ahead.
about it though is like I was gonna say I was expecting Par to be in the episode more, and he's the entire episode without him, and this is supposed to be his band.
that's right, because like Par needed a singer, and he pointed out Bobby, so I was thinking like Par, could you also be a part of it too? But no, it didn't turn out at the end.
Yeah, he was gone.
Yeah.
Maybell needing so many mangoes.
Oh, that's right,
Yep.
because of Maybell.
Yeah. And
My
she
God.
needs I still can't believe we got an episode as to the reason why she likes mangoes so much. Like that was just unexpected. And it was a good episode.
No, it was a good.
too.
Yeah, it was definitely a good episode because it just tells the story of like how Maybell got into mangoes by her band. We never expected to actually see her in a music band.
Oh, yeah, that was a
But
good
yeah, it
one.
was definitely a good episode.
Anything to add, Sunny?
Nope.
Okay. Let's move on to For the Record, which we got a few requests for in the chat. So
Oh boy, guys, don't hate Becky anymore, okay? This is a good episode for her. It was a good episode for her. We actually see her like for like half of the episode. I don't know who wants to start because I said my piece last time.
Oh, yeah, I mentioned this one earlier.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't have much to say on it besides I'm like you. Becky was so much better in this episode, so let's give her a pass because she doesn't deserve the hate.
Mm-hmm. I think the one thing that I kind of like. Well, I mean, there's a lot to explain about this episode. I mean, everybody like falsifying their stories. What was it like? Laird tried to fight a shark. Ronnie Ann like stopping a robber. Sid being so sleepy she became a zombie. And then I think it was like, what was it with? Forgot the other two. What did Casey do? Forgot what Casey did.
I can't remember.
Casey and Nikki. I don't know if they did anything. I know Nikki was trying to like do try to hold like, what was it? Corn dogs on her nose.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I feel bad. Well, the other thing too is I also feel bad for like Samir because like all the stories that they keep on saying it's like, yeah, Samir, you don't have anything like so exciting. Your life is kind of like, eh. So that's why he did this whole record thing, which is like which is pretty cool. Like, yeah, all you gotta do is like skateboard and blow bubbles for that for like a couple hours and minutes. Oh, and the fact that like Becky became a good supporting character. Like she literally saw Samir and she's like, "Oh, I'll help you out with like trying to give you like something exciting." So we'll go ahead and go to the record books and see if you can actually break a record. And how the heck is she helpful? Like, oh my god, like out of all the people that I keep seeing, it's like I didn't expect to actually see Becky out of all people actually turn out to be like a very helpful person. Because we always keep on seeing her like as a bully or a mean person or somebody that, you know, y'all expected to see that, oh, okay, she's definitely one character that I hate. But in the end, she ended up actually like helping Samir out. It kind of sucks that the record actually didn't happen. Um, because of like one little cough, literally 1 second. Literally, if he lasted one more second, he could have actually gotten the record. But now it's like a little bit disappointing. And then at the end, I love the fact that like I don't know if this was like a cop out or anything like that, but he still ended up getting a record for like the most failed record attempts, and I'm like, really? So he still ended up actually winning something.
That felt like a cop out to me.
That's what I thought too. It was like it felt like a cop out. I'm like, okay, so you will still win at the end. Okay, fine, we'll just deal with that. But still, like I think the only thing that I like in this episode was the fact that Becky actually does have some importance in this episode. It just look, she's not the bully. She's not the bully that you thought, and she actually is very helpful. So yeah, awesome prop out to Becky. And then just everything else in this episode was okay. So yeah, not bad for an episode for the record.
Yeah, and before we move on, I want to add that Becky was helping Samir in her own little way. It's not, she was helping him try to get world records for very painful things, but that's just kind of her thing. Like fire ants for an hour. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of an extreme girl if you think about it.
yeah, but I just kind of see it as that's her way of doing things, and I guess that's okay.
I don't I don't know. Like I said, she's kind of a weird character. Maybe we need more episodes about her, and hopefully we do in season 3.
Yeah. Anything for anyone else to add before we move on to? I think it's 15 Candles next.
Oh boy.
Oh, the Quinceanera episode. I think Sunny has a lot to talk about that one.
Well, not really, but yeah, I think this episode's good for Samir. I like that Samir got a focused episode, and Becky was good in this episode, and I hope they continue to keep her this way, than how she was in past episodes. But yeah, I like that Samir got his first focus episode.
Yeah, it definitely took a while for him. Okay. Yeah, 15 Candles is next. Oh boy.
Quinceanera, yay!
I know this one had a lot of mixed reactions from people, so should be interesting discussion.
Mixed reactions, like, what do you mean by that?
I saw a lot of good. I saw a lot of not so good. Like people didn't expect it to be this, so they were disappointed by its outcome, kind of thing.
I kind of felt the ending was actually like really uplifting. Like I did not expect somebody to not have a quinceanera, and they turned out to actually still have a quinceanera for them. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, the hair. Yeah, the hair is the most unrealistic thing possible.
15, right on the hair.
Yeah, I mean, I was very excited for this episode at the idea of Roddy and getting a quinceañera, but what I'm very disappointed about this episode is that they say that Roddy Ann is 11 and a half. She shouldn't be. She should be 12 years old at this point in the show. I don't know why they said 11 and a half. It's like, but my birthday is, but I'm only 11 and a half. No, you should be 12 by this point in Loud House season 5 and Casagrandes season 3. But yeah, I mean, after I was excited for it, but then at the end I was like, oh, that was fine, but it was cute. Like, it really didn't need to be anything else other than what it was. Just like a really cute episode about how Rosa was kind of projecting onto Roddy Ann because she never had a quinceañera. With Rosa, we find out about that. So it was like nice that Roddy Ann decided to throw the quinceañera for her. And yeah, like someone said in the chat, like it's been a while since we've seen Sid and Roddy Ann together in episodes. Like
Mm.
they always get the Roddy and Friends episodes. We never really had Sid Audie in a while. So just have Sid in this episode be like, "Oh hey, I'll help you out," and that was pretty much it. It was nice. And of course, Isabella gave one of the best lines of the episode, where Sid was like, "Oh, you could you know the distract your abuela," and then Roddy is like, "Oh Sid, you're bad, so bad it's good." Like that was great. Like that's so great. Like I love Isabella as Roddy Ann. But yeah, like it wasn't really much, but it was just cute. Like the wholesome ending where Roddy Ann and Rosa hug, and then like she gives her the quinceañera was really nice. So that's really just all it needed to be was a nice, cute episode for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this episode, I thought they were actually going to celebrate a quinceanera, but obviously Ronnie Ann is too young. I mean, 11 and a half, yeah, that's one thing. But the other thing, too, is like, maybe she doesn't have her birthday yet. Maybe they're waiting for, like, the end of season 3 to actually move into season 4, if there's going to be a season 4, where Ronnie Ann actually moves to junior high, or middle school, so that, like, they could actually follow the route, like, what Lincoln's doing right now. So, I mean, still, nonetheless, I mean, the fact that Rosa was planning a whole lot for a quinceanera for Ronnie Ann is the fact that she never got her quinceanera at all. She keeps on saying stories like, "Oh, this was it." Somebody's quinceanera was very. I mean, Carlota's quinceanera was disappointing because the cake was dry or something. So she's like making sure, like, even if it's like what 3.5 years till her quinceanera, she still wants to prep it up, and she always like continues to practice it every weekend. And I'm like, that's a little bit too extreme. She's only has 3.5 years left until she can actually have a quinceanera. But I guess it was a little extreme for. I mean, it definitely is extreme, but at the same time, you get to see the whole backstory of why she does this, because Rosa never had one. I do love the fact like they really put it at the end where, like, Ronnie Ann says, we'll have to make a quinceanera for Rosa because she never had one. And like what Ronnie Ann said in the episode, you're never too late to have a quinceanera. And I just love the whole quinceanera party too. It's like, yeah, everyone's partying. I see Ronnie Ann dancing and Sid dancing, and everybody having a fun time. I also love the fact that, like, the whole ceremonies of a quinceanera also happens too. The white shoes, the first dance, which I thought was pretty awesome. It's not. It's supposed to be your father and your daughter, but no, that wasn't the case in that one. Um, Nonetheless, it still felt cool. I mean, maybe they could have had more emphasis on what a quinceanera is all about. Obviously, because this is a quinceanera episode. But maybe they might have another quinceanera episode. I don't know. When Ronnie Ann grows up, I don't know. Still not bad for an episode. I thought it was still overall exciting. So that's not that much I could say, but yeah, not bad of an episode for 15 Candles.
Yeah, I like this episode. Colby in chat obviously wanted me to mention DJ Carl in the background.
Oh yeah, DJ.
Yeah,
but that was
Carl
that was
in the
like that was just more of like him, obviously being the DJ Carl,
Yeah.
Just he just appeared as a DJ.
Just an appearance. His family needed a DJ for cheap.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, besides, you guys kind of covered everything with this episode.
Oh no! Don't tell me Omid is gonna bring up something saying about Maria. Yep,
Yep.
I knew it. You little bastard. I mean, he literally just put it up. I want to mention one thing. I'm like, okay, I get it. Actually, to be fair, the designs of the characters, like in their dresses and stuff, are actually pretty cute. So, like, props out to them. Like, the outfits are awesome.
And it's a shame that a lot of these models will only be used for this episode.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, like if everything comes in fancy, they just end up like putting on a new design for a character. Like, yeah, Zoom Urgency, where Ronnie Ann we actually see Ronnie Ann in a dress, and then we get to see her in 15 Candles. She has a different dress on. So let's say, for example, another big party happens, and Ronnie Ann's gonna be in a dress. It'll probably be in a different design to say. So yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit 18 up now.
Partially makes me glad I don't have the chat on the video recording.
You don't, but good thing you don't have it actually popping up on the side or anything like that.
One,
Muy caliente.
this layout won't allow
He
that.
literally said it right there in the chat. So like, I get it. You have a thing for her. We're gonna. Omid and I are gonna review this next Thursday, and I'm like, oh god, he's gonna be bringing it up too.
4 hours of an episode, 3 hours and 59 minutes. Oh, me simping for Maria.
You know, I feel like he's like that. Have y'all ever seen that one GIF where it's like from one of those old I don't know if it's Looney Tunes, but it's like one of those old cartoons with the wolf where he's like banging on the table. That's him
like,
when he sees her.
It's like the red. It's like the Red Riding Hood wolf. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, where he's like, yeah, that's him.
Oh god.
Oh god, that's great. I mean, anything else to add for this one?
I've said my piece. I'm good.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's next, quite honestly. I kind of forgot the last three. It's Rickline and Sinker. Just right off the bat, the faces they use in this episode, man.
They're pretty like chibi, like cute to say. But as Carl like thinks of them as pawns, it's literally like the basic like faces and all. But yeah, this is the opposite Carl episode I was expecting.
He took over a school.
I don't know. How do you explain this? How do you explain?
So, describe Rookline and Sinker from the Casagrandes to me. The main character took over a school.
Yep, he took over the entire school.
Let me say this. Going back to has Carl learned his lesson? When you see this episode, no, he was tricking people out of pudding cups, and that's probably why he didn't have friends. Chad Carl would take over the world in 7 days.
Also, the thing is that the whole episode was pretty much like trying to find Carl a hobby, like just because he was just being a troublemaker. So he ended up actually playing chess. It turned out to be really good at chess. That he even uses his chess skills to actually like make people pawns and let him bid for his let him do for his bidding. It's really interesting how Principal Valenzuela ended up becoming Hall Monitor Valenzuela. I'm like, how? Wow. That's how Carl. I guess that's how Carl really does it when it comes to chess. It's interesting. Yeah, he took over an entire school. He literally became the principal, and I'm like, this is how did this? This is nonsense. And the other thing too is that at the end where Bobby ended up actually having like a place. He literally had a place at the Mercado now, where he's just sleeping there. They never actually resolved that, so it's like, okay, so you pretty much don't have a room anymore. You're literally living at the Mercado.
And like the scene I used here as the background photo, I'm gonna need a long think about my actions. So I'm just not gonna do any homework tonight. Yeah, that sounds right. Wait, that Carl, you just tricked the principal again.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she called him and made him do homework. That's something I would love to know.
Yeah. Alexis wins best smile, not Carl. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I won best smile. No, Alexis won best smile. It literally had like a poster that says Alexis winning best smile.
Oh man, this episode was just so. One question I have though, I saw people just in between. I think it was in between classes one day, talking about the colors of the pawns. I never quite could figure out the meaning of the colors.
Oh yeah.
Where like one is like green, the other one was purple.
Yeah, I think one somewhere.
I feel like Carl's. I feel like it's this way where like Carl uses like these pawns to take care of the opposite enemy, like to take them out. So, like in chess, for example, you got black pieces and white pieces. So, you're what you got to do is just pretty much just. I'm guessing he's doing it that way, where he just thinks his pieces are the green pieces and um the enemy pieces are the purple pieces. So what does he have to do? Take them out somehow, some way. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a chess person. Never played it, so
Ah.
I didn't know any of the chess things. I probably should, seeing how easy it is to trick
Right.
people.
I'm a checkers person.
Checkers is easier. Yeah, I remember playing
Yeah.
checkers when I was like back in elementary. Chess was more like, oh my god, you really have to think a lot, especially if you want to win chess.
Yeah,
Yes. Too much explaining.
and I feel like anything Carlos taught Carl to do, he would have figured out how to trick people in it. Let's
Yeah.
just be real.
Yeah.
Twister. Carl learned to play Twister. Twist people into knots. I mean, that's really all I gotta say. If anyone wants to add anything, we'll move on.
Yeah. I got nothing else to say. So
Okay. So now we're on to the episodes that aired last night. So if you haven't seen those yet, spoiler alert, big spoiler alert. And we're gonna get to Let's Get Ready to Roomba.
oh,
Or
this
Rumba.
episode.
Rumba, I don't know.
Get ready to, yeah. Who wants to start? Who wants to start this one off?
I mean, really all I have to say on this one is it's an okay episode. I mean, it's one of those I wouldn't turn off the TV if it were on, but it's not very memorable for me, quite honestly. Like, I just watched it last night.
It's basically Hector's version of Teed Off. They basically just did Teed Off again.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
And there's nothing much to say on this. Like I said, I watched this last night, and I can really, honestly, not really remember much from it.
One thing about it is what was that? The one guy who was doing the hot dog cart. Forgot his name.
I did too.
Bruno?
Bruno. So he has a big focus in this episode. Apparently, he pals around with Hector and Vito. So, hey, there's more than just his hot dog cart. He actually does hang out with. He has friends too, like those guys. What else more can I say from this? Yeah, I know this is just very recently, so probably another watch is something I would like discuss more about.
Yeah.
But the fact that okay, so I really do like the fact that like this is pretty much Hector's version of Teed Off, because it's pretty much him just being jealous of another person who's like dancing with Rosa, and it's like impressing Rosa a whole lot with like giving away tamales, doing all this and that. So it's like, yeah, I understand why Hector would do something like that. But yeah, like I said, it was not bad. And I do like the fact at the end too, where they like dancing together. Just tells you like, yeah, look, Rosa's not cheating on you. This is Hector. You're just being a little bit, you're overreacting to pretty much what was happening over there. And at the end, it was still kind of romantic with Hector and Rosa dancing together at the end.
Yeah, and like at the end of the episode, them revealing that the dance instructor is actually gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. That's like the most memorable thing about
Yeah.
it.
That luscious hair.
Hector mostly brought it upon himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
He was jealous for no reason.
Yeah. And he kind of like I know like their relationship has always been shown to where like I don't want to say that it's like bad, but like Hector just kind of expects Rosa to like do everything for him, and so I feel like that's kind of what it showed here was where he like chose his friends over her, and it's like, geez, man, how are y'all still married? Like, I don't want to say their relationship is toxic because I know it's not. Like they've shown before that like they do love each other. It's just, man, it makes you think sometimes.
Kind of does, yeah.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's nothing else much I really need to add for this one. If I think we can move on.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did. One thing is, I did make a joke about this one on Discord about Ivan. I was like, man, he seems like a Gary Stu. Not gonna lie. That's like he's handsome. Everyone loves him, and I'm like, he doesn't make mistakes. They somehow, but he'll probably never be seen again, which is what makes it funny.
Probably not. The secondary. I mean, like, if he ever pops up, he'll probably just be like a random character in the background. He won't really have like a big significance or anything. So.
Yeah, it seems like they wrapped up his being on screen with there being a recital at the end of the episode.
Right.
All right, so the last episode is Pero Malo, a very interesting one.
Oh my god. This was actually not bad of an episode. I actually have to. I'll admit here.
It was an emotional one for sure.
Very surprising episode with lots of continuity callbacks in this episode.
Yes. Oh my god. I guess I can like explain this here. First off, oh my god, we actually get to see adios Ana Adios again. Oh yeah, remember that show from No Show?
Oh my god, like when they were watching Ana Ronaldo, I jumped out of my seat and screamed, Ana Ronaldo? They remembered that? Like, the last time they watched Ana Ronaldo in the spin-off show was Operation Dad from season 1. And I get now why they did that, because the whole joke of Ana Ronaldo was that she was a doppelganger of Ronnie Ann, and it's like, oh, she looks kind of like me. And so, like, they're watching Ana Ronaldo, and, like, the episode has a doppelganger in it where it's like, oh, it's I'm the evil twin brother. And Carl was like, seriously? Another twin? And Hector's like, this seems to happen every episode. I love that so much. They're calling out the episode. I love it. But yeah, I want to see more Ana Ronaldo. Please remember that. I love that they remembered it. Just for the joke for this episode.
I just remember that the fact that like they remember the show and we actually get to see the physical appearance of Ana Ronaldo again. They keep on mentioning it, but they never actually like made us see the episode once again, like what happened in No Show. So yeah, I need more of that. It's awesome to see the doppelganger of Ana Ronaldo and Ronnie Ann. So yeah. The other thing too is that I didn't expect Becky to have a dog, and Becky does have a dog who's pretty much Lalo, except a whole lot meaner. And the fact that they actually traded places and they never noticed, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was so weird to find out that Becky owned Malo. Like, that was so strange that they switched and it was like Malo just looks like Lalo, and then we find out that they were like from the same breed, and that was very interesting.
Vincent pointed it like for me too. Like, who knew Becky had a dog? Because yeah, it just came out of random. I'm like, Becky has a dog? Okay, cool. I didn't know it actually was just like Lalo. So what happened is that Ronnie Ann didn't pay attention, so they switched places, and then what happened was Malo during the Casagrandes wrecking havoc at the Mercado, wrecking havoc at the Casagrandes place. Well, I love the fact that like Becky and Lalo were like together, and like I love how Becky trains her dog, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense why he's mean. Like wrestling lessons, like growling and all that stuff. I didn't expect Becky to actually train her dog like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. And I also put a tweet out saying, I guess this runs in the family. I guess everybody's mean in the family. I would expect their parents to probably be the same way too.
Yeah, I was like, what are the odds that like her parents got the same dog that Hector did, like from the same lady?
Yeah, maybe.
That is so weird.
It's an interesting little tidbit there. And then, of course, like, Malo turned out to like wreak havoc on everything that they decided to like let him go, like pretty much put him to the dog pound. I love the fact at the end too, where like, Sonny, you pointed this out too, like, oh, like Carlo was like crying like Frida. Oh my god, I'm just like my mom.
I'm turning into my mom.
Mom.
I love again how mad that this episode was. Like, oh no, I'm turning into mom. And then they all were crying, just like Frida.
Just
It's
like
like, yep,
Frida.
they're all Casagrandes. It's great.
It was amazing.
Carl was like, "Be a man, Carl. Don't cry."
They didn't even balled it out. And then before they even got caught, you get to see Becky and her dog. I mean, Becky and Lalo come back, and then now you get to see like they're totally doppelgangers. And I love the fact that like when Becky just growls at the dog at Malo, that you know that it's her dog. So it's like, okay. I mean, that's pretty much how Becky works. And so overall, it was a really exciting adventure of like mistaken identity between these two dogs. And just the fact that like, yeah, pay attention to your dog a whole lot more, and then you'll get more respect on whoever's dog you're taking care of. So yeah, really awesome of an episode.
One question I
Yeah.
have before I forget, in No Show when they referenced Adios Ana Adios, was that the series finale or the season finale that they were recording for Ronnie Ann to watch because they knew she liked the show? I can't
I
remember.
think it was season finale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason I thought it was series finale.
Yeah, and I just love how much Radia cares for Lalo, and especially like when she's apologizing to Lalo, and then he licks her hair and it sticks up. Like that's a callback to Relative Chaos, which
Oh
I
yeah.
love. Like I love seeing that they remember these things, and it's like amazing to see again callbacks. And also someone I think someone pointed out in the chat the moment when like they're all like wondering who's gonna take out Lalo, and they're all saying Dip's not, and then Radia says Dip's not, and looks at everybody. I was like, Lincoln did that exact same thing in the Loud House. I love to see it. It's great. And same thing with like her dad did too in the Christmas episode, so that's cute.
Yeah, that just seems to be a thing between both of the shows, and I'm glad that they kept that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just a surprise episode of like, wow, that was really good, because we weren't really excited for these two episodes. Like the Hector Rosa one was just fine, but then Pearl Malo ended up being such a surprise episode. I was like, wow, that was really great. So yeah, because I really love Lalo a lot, so I want him to get more episodes as Sergio.
Yeah,
And
same.
just the episode that gives out like a lot of tidbits and just tells you like, oh yeah, this happened this episode. This happened in that episode. So, yeah. A lot of callbacks.
See if you can get all the references episode. And that's what makes it so good.
I get it. Becky did wrestle. I remember back in the Two of Clubs. That was the one thing I think I noticed too. It's like, oh, I didn't know Becky. I forgot Becky did wrestle. There's a callback.
You're a true fan if you get them all.
A lot of the animal episodes in the Casagrandes have been better than the Loud House ones.
Well, I mean, because Sergio can talk. That's one thing.
The only Loud House one that I liked. Well, I don't hate them. It's just like the one that I liked the most out of them was the Lovebirds. That one was cute.
Yeah, that was very cute.
that was mostly
didn't-
on the pet too. So yeah.
Yeah. And like I like the joke that they do, like they did in I think it was Pets Peeved. Yeah. For like most of the episode where they don't show like the loud kids' faces, because it's like a reference to like old cartoons when they would do that, like Tom and Jerry and stuff. I like it when they do that though. But this one, yeah, and I'm like a big dog person, so I like Lalo too. Because he reminds me of my dog, except my dog is small.
Yeah. Lalo reminds me of my dog as well, but he, like
Little Milo.
he's small, but he can be.
It's like the whole. I
Little
forgot.
Malo.
Forgot about the whole backstory too. The fact that like we get to see Hector, how he was able to pick up, how he's able to adopt Lalo. Thought that was actually pretty cute. Like, oh, get to see a baby Lalo.
Yeah, it was so cute getting the backstory for Lalo. I just love how Roddy Ann loves Lalo. It's so cute. Like I got so emotional over a girl and her dog. It's made me cry.
All right, so that's all we got. That's the 10 episodes we had. Did pretty well. 100 minutes.
Well, like I said, like these all came out recently, so it's like, wow, we really are going through a lot of Casagrandes episodes.
Yeah, I started planning this one, and it was like we did 10 in 4 weeks.
Yep.
Oh, me correction in the chat. Not Lovebird. That was Squawk in the Name of Love, but close enough.
Lovebirds
Yeah.
was with
Lovebirds was the Loud House.
House.
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
it was that
I
one
mean, they were both
episode
about
where
birds and love, but yeah, Squawk in the Name of Love.
yeah, I remember Walt is the main focus in Lovebirds. So yeah. That was the one episode. But like I said, how are you feeling about season 3? Are you guys liking it so far? Is it really good?
Yeah.
Yeah, season 3's been pretty solid, especially because, again, it seems like they are giving a lot of characters focus episodes that really deserve it. Like, again, Carlos got his first focus episode in a long time. Hector's had a whole bunch. I'm very shocked that Hector's getting some. Carl's obviously getting a ton, as we were to say. I'm not hating on Carl, it's just like, I do want Carl to take a little backseat after, a while, because I think they just, but like Rooklight is Seeker, he's just a really engaging character. I call him the opposite Lincoln, so that's cool. But like, yeah, it's been very solid, and I'm very excited for what else season 3 gives. Because again, next week is the Correlate episode, and we all love some Correlate, so that's gonna be good. But then it's like Hector and Vito. Who asked for this? It's like okay, I don't know. Like I liked the Rose and Hector one, but it wasn't really anything special other than, hey, the dance instructor is gay. That's cool. But I do hope that Roddy Ann gets more episodes for herself, because like when I saw her in the Lalo episode, I'm like, man, I miss Roddy Ann. Like I miss her getting episodes, but that's just me. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far. No bad episodes. No, just like some okay-ish episodes, but I think it's been pretty good so far.
I would say like it had its highs, it had its lows, but it had its steep lows, like let's say for example Gossipy Girl. But to say the least, season 3 started off pretty well. It's turning out to, like I said, there's been episodes that have been really like stellar. There's some that have been pretty average, but they've all been like good manageable episodes for me to watch. It's not like one where I'm like, okay, turn off the TV because I hate this episode. But yeah, it's a good season so far, and season 3 is still rolling on right now, so can't wait to see what's next with the Casagrandes.
I hope that there's another Loud House crossover.
Please.
Please. Oh my gosh.
Please. Oh my god.
They gotta have at least one in every season.
We'll have another cursed
At
episode.
least one.
Yes, not Nate. The Vince in the chat. Yes, right episode. Cause like I love Sadatikin, guys, but they got 2 episodes last season. Just give us a Roddykin episode, okay? And have like Sid be the shipper in the background. That'd be cool. Like, yes, we need another crossover episode, please, Miguel. Deliver on that.
Oh god, Kobe calling me out here. It's been stellar, right? Yes, it is.
Stellar. Okay,
Funny,
season 6, your move with Stella episode.
I'm waiting for it, please.
Also, TLH, your move, Roddy Ann cameo. That's what we need season 6.
That's right. We've always been asking, like, season 6, where's Roddy Ann gonna come in? Because we keep up seeing Lincoln a whole lot in the Casagrandes, like, just randomly pop up. Why can't Roddy Ann randomly pop up for an episode in the Loud House?
Okay. we've covered all the things on the list for tonight. I think at this point, do our regular. If you want to shamelessly self promote, you can do that.
I guess I'll go first here. But yeah, my name is Nate from the owner. I mean the owner of the I'm sorry. I'll start over again. My name is Nate. I am the person who runs the fan page of the Loud House and the Casagrandes. You can follow us on Twitter at fanpage of TLH, and also on Instagram at the same tag at fanpage of TLH. We also do have a Loud Casa Talks Twitter, which is our main podcast. That's run by my co-host Omid. It's over at Loud Casa Talks. It is there where you could get to see all of our episodes, all of our recordings, and pretty much anything that we talk about the Loud Casa Talks. And of course, the fan page of Loud House is pretty much all sources of fan page of Loud House and the Casagrandes has been our source of pretty much just anything about the Loud House and Casagrandes. Whenever big news comes up, we'll go ahead and bring it out for you. And whenever we always bring up like anything Loud House and Casagrandes, we'll spread it over there in our Twitter. So yeah, please follow us on our tags. And yeah, hope if you're a big fan of Loud House and Casagrandes, we hope to see you there.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sunny Eclipse. You know me from Twitter at xSunnyEclipse, but I'm also the host of the Casa Loud Chats podcast. Go over there on Twitter, Casa Loud Chats, to check out the latest episode I did with my friend Jaw, as we talked about the Casagrande episodes. And yeah, that's me. You know, I do art, I do the podcast, and I just do what I do. So yeah, follow me there.
And you guys can follow me on Twitter at Wyoming Parmesan. Oh, it's in the chat now. And and I also have Instagram. It's Wyoming 2016. And that's where, like, if you guys want to see more of like my kind of personal life, like I post stuff on there, I just forget. And I also write stuff sometimes, so on both fanfiction.net and Archive of Our Own, I'm also Wyoming Parmesan on there, so check those out too.
And I'm Seren. I'm at Seren Santiago everywhere. And I stream here on Twitch as well, games regularly. It's mostly in the mornings because that's when I'm freest, but I need to do some evening streams to get this crowd out here for some game nights. But yeah, thanks again, guys. It's been 4 months. It was a lot of rescheduling, but we finally did it.
Actually, a time we can actually fit our schedule in, so it's awesome that we actually were able to get this done.
Yeah, I think our next one, because I know we talked in 4 about the fan pitch episode. We need to get around to doing that. I think that should be our next Treehouse Sessions.
I just need to get my notebook down and look at like all the all the things I wrote down that I need ideas for.
Yeah, we'll be doing a game night in the Discord server next week. Probably Smash next week. But
That's fun.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks again for everyone coming out. This archive will be up on Monday. If I know none of you missed it, but for those that missed it or just want to watch it again. But that's going to do it. We'll see you next time.